if they were sincere. If not, guess what also happens? He just usually tell you to leave. If it's that bad, or no, we didn't say nothing to nobody, we're good. Okay? The Most High is in control of this, and this is where your faith has to be at.
Yeah. I mean, Paul even said, for he is not a terror unto to good works, those who do good works, but to those that do evil.
Yeah, he's there to punish. It said, is it the same chapter?
Yeah, Romans 13.
Yeah, he's there to punish the evil.
Yeah. It says, as if he were ready to destroy, and where is the fury of the oppressor? In other words, the Most High, he gonna turn his ass into grass. You know, and that's going back to Isaiah 14. You're gonna narrowly look upon this man like, damn, this is the man who put fear on everybody.
This weak ass.
This guy. He shook up kingdoms. Where's the fury of the oppressor now? That's what the Lord is asking. Because the Most High is the one who controls, man. Just like he lifted up Pharaoh and put him in his position, the Lord raised him up so that the Lord can show his power. Esau is no different. He is no different, man.
That's why Paul spoke it.
Yep. Back to you.
It's Isaiah 14:8. Yeah, the fir trees rejoice at thee in the cedar of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feather is come up against us.
And we always get on this point. Deforestation. You know, cutting down the trees, which is the lungs of the earth.
Shit.
Speaking of, over there in the land of Israel, all those acres of land that's being burnt up is mainly the trees that's burning. Because the climate over there is hot and it's gusty. But when you cut down the trees that are native to the land, and then you planting trees from the other side of the Mediterranean, what do you think is going to happen? That's literally what they did. They got in the land. They declared their independence. They pushed all the Arabs out, and they started. They used what they call I think it's called the Jewish funding. I think it's somebody look it up real quick, because what they did was they used these little blue boxes, and they had people putting money into those boxes, but it was all being used to fund them rebuilding their settlements after they pushed the Palestinians out. I think it's called the Jewish funding. Let me real quick. The Jewish National Fund. That was what it was called, the Jewish National Fund. All right, and they used it to fund the rebuilding of the settlement once they got into the land. And they started building, you know, the architecture over there that you see. But also, a lot of those trees that they had to start planting over there, they planted pine trees. They were known as the Aleppo pine tree. Those are native to Europe. But we know that these devils, that when they came into the land, they came from out of Europe. So they wanted their newfound land to remind them and look like back at home.
Can't help it.
So they planted those trees all throughout that region. And to mind you,
don't fit in that climate,
it don't fit in that climate. And those trees are flammable.
Yeah.
So now what we're seeing is a result of that. That shit is in flames over there.
They say those trees is flammable.
Yeah.
It's flammable, man.
Especially if you don't like pine trees.
Yeah.
Those pine needles. If those started covering the ground and they go brown, they dry up like that. Oh man, that's like kindling.
Mm-hmm.
It just catches. It's meant to catch.
Yeah.
So they're not as smart as they think they are.
They don't follow the instructions.
They're wise to do evil.
Yep.
But to do good, I mean, he's talking about our people, I'm quoting, but that's what do you think they
Let
learned?
favor be shown to the wicked in a land of uprightness.
You know?
They will not learn righteousness, neither will they behold his majesty.
Yeah, I got something about that. Right.
Go ahead.
It says in 2006, the JNF, the National Fund, right, the
Yeah.
Jewish, right,
Yeah.
signed a 49-year lease agreement with the state of Israel, which gives control over 30,000 hectares. That's 300 kilometers squared, right? It says of land for the development of forest. The JNF has been criticized for planting non-native pine trees.
So what happened to the cedar trees and the olive trees? Those trees are native to that area.
I got the law.
But instead, they want to plant those trees because it reminds them from back where they came from.
The Caucasus Mountains.
You know? Go ahead.
Yeah, it says dang.
And you know who they blaming for this, right? They don't consider that this is judgment coming from Hashem.
Right.
They don't even consider that.
Right.
They gonna blame nature on Hamas.
The new boogeyman.
Go ahead.
It says the JNF has been criticized for planting non-native pine trees which are unsuited to the climate rather than local species such as olive trees.
Come on, man. What is Psalms 50 and 16? Y'all already know. You stay where you at, Bond. That information. Psalms 50 and 16.
Y'all hear this? It's Psalm chapter.
This is why the
50.
earth suffers. This is why.
Slaughter, can I bring out the law real quick?
Yeah.
Deuteronomy 20 and 19, NLT. When you are attacking a town and the war drags on, you must not cut down the trees with your axes.
That's an instruction.
You,
That's an instruction.
Right.
The Lord said, don't do something, follow that instruction. He knows what's best. You know?
Nah, you tell me a so-called J over there in Israel didn't read this commandment right here. Yeah. But do not cut. I said you may eat the fruit.
Well,
but
it doesn't say in the Mishnah,
Right.
the Talmud.
You may eat the fruit, but do not cut down the trees. Are the trees your enemies that you should attack them?
Attacking the tree. Man, that's why when we read, Brother read in Romans 8, even all the creation is groaning, you know, with the version of it, for the righteous to live, man. Attacking us, man. The people beating themselves because we're being attacked.
Yeah, kind. To get those pine trees to that part of the land, where did you take them from, man?
Yeah.
You know, what land did you just make destitute in order to bring those trees over there? Because it's not like they were just in the forest, you know? I mean, not like they were in the factories, so like.
They gotta
Seeds,
implant tree. They gotta you gotta import
transplant. Yeah.
and transplant, you know, was natural to the earth.
Right.
The earth is cursed under you devils, man.
Yep, this is Psalm 50, I'm starting at 16. It says, but unto the wicked the Most High saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Seeing thou hatest instruction, and castest my words behind thee.
That's what they.
We the children of God, but we don't like the Bible.
Right.
That don't even make sense. Torah. You got a whole nother book. They read the Torah, which that's where the law was at. And then you go to your other book that contradicts the Torah.
Yep. That's why Paul referred to him as the man of sin, the man of lawlessness.
Hey, but that's why he also said, if I may, he said, I didn't know sin except by the law. So they learned the law to know how to.
And that's why they're held accountable.
Yep.
Because you took the covenant in your mouth, even though you're not the people of the covenant.
Yep.
So you're gonna be held accountable. You know? Hey, when them implants came into our land during the time of the Assyrian captivity, hey, the Most High still held their asses accountable when they came into the land. When they was over there sinning, the Lord, he sent some lions out. They start getting ripped up in the Holy Land. So a priest had to teach them how to keep the laws of the land. They're not keeping the laws over there. That's why it's a war zone over there. That's why it's blood being spilled over there. That's why it's wildfires over there. And then they don't even, another way you can tell that they don't care about the law. And even vocab try to use this to imply that the nations can make it or can be saved. There's a law where it talks about let a stranger be as one that is born in the land. And they try to say that that's talking about another nation can actually come and dwell in the land and have citizenship and be treated
You see how
with
they do?
you know what I'm saying?
They cover all they stuff.
yeah.
In case we not the people, it's okay that we here. We still under the law.
He try to use that again towards us, but he don't apply that to them devils over there. Cause they don't keep that law. They destroying they massacring them people over there. Straight up ethnic cleansing. They don't want no citizenship. If you ain't us, you get no citizenship. You know, if you're a Christian, we don't want you over here. They'll spit in your face, man, if you're a Christian. But Christians over here want to save them.
Yeah.
They literally, after the children spit also.
Yeah.
It's a literal thing.
Yeah.
It ain't figurative, brother saying. It's literal.
Yep.
You can Google that.
Yep.
It says others say it's like the JNF has been criticized for planting non-native pine trees which are unsuited to the climate rather than local species such as olive trees. Others say that JNF deserves credit for this decision and the forest would not have survived otherwise, which it shouldn't be there.
Right.
It says according to the JNF statistics, 6 out of every 7 saplings planted in Jerusalem did not survive. Damn.
Because don't they have those trees have resin in them?
Yep.
Yeah. In that climate, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
It almost makes it fuels it like but even the resin forgot, you watched it scrolling through TV or whatever, but that resin almost makes like a magnifying glass type effect when sunlight hits through it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's fuel itself.
Yeah, and then it literally catches the fire.
Yep.
I've seen a wilderness guy teach survival tricks, use it for fuel of a fire.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So 60% of the trees planted didn't survive. It says although the survival rate for planting sites outside of Jerusalem is much higher, close to 95%. So the tree has a really 100% survival rate when it's planted in its correct environment.
Right.
You know?
2/3, the 3% outside. Not percent, but a third. Yeah.
It says the Israeli newspaper wrote that workers remove saplings daily to allow more tourists to plant the following day. Damn. The Union for Environmental Defense has criticized the fund's forestry practices for over-reliance on highly flammable pine trees and overuse of toxic herbicides. Yep. It says some forests have been planted for security reasons as a means of demarcating Israeli space.
And this is supposed to be the month that they celebrate their independence. When they finally declared the state of Israel, this is happening on their so-called anniversary. And that fire came and burnt down through those areas where it actually caused a derailment where people couldn't even travel from Jerusalem straight to Tel Aviv. If you trying to make it from Tel Aviv down to Jerusalem, you was gonna run into that fire. If you was or vice versa, you know. So hey, the Lord is showing them signals. Because the land is bearing the shame of the heathen right now. You ain't even supposed to be there. The trees over there is waiting on us, man. They can't wait for these devils. Hey,
Insects.
our land got a rodent problem. It got a rodent problem right now.
Yeah.
It's infested. It's been infested for almost 100 years now. You know?
The missiles is the pesticide.
Yep.
Still reading, Bob?
It says, this is further down, but it says the JNF's
We
engagement
got Isaiah 14 again after.
in developing Israel for rap purposes, I say, has involved a range of massive land infrastructure developments. In the 1980s, they launched a project known collectively as Operation Promised Land to meet the challenge of massive upsurge of immigration.
Yeah, so basically, to combat what Trump is doing now with immigration, they did that back then because they didn't like. But think about the immigrants over there saying, if y'all can be here, we can be here.
Mm-hmm.
So they try to, and America kind of models itself after that. This is for everybody or whatever. But now it's like, nah. And so that's what they was doing back then. Like, nah, man, y'all coming and taking over. Like, nah, we gonna keep y'all out of here. So they actually had an Operation Promised Land. This is our promised land.
Right.
But it wasn't promised to you. Was the problem.
And this is how I know that this was really judgment that that's happening. Because if this was like in a settlement where there was still Palestinians at,
Right.
I would have been like, nah, they probably use fucking direct energy weapons or some shit. I wouldn't put it past them doing that. Clear out more land so they can get, stake it for themselves, and they can, start building upon it. The 15-minute infrastructure,
Yep.
Technology, whatever. But no, this is within their own territory that all this fire is going on. The Most High wanted y'all to see that, experience that, man. Because the Lord is about ready to show his fiery indignation, man.
Yeah, as they're heating up with their fiery indignation on earth, Most High is heating up with his.
Yep.
And that's in our favor.
Yep.
Okay, that's in our favor. That was good, right? Y'all got Isaiah.
Yeah, 14, Isaiah 14. You have something too, Z?
I had Genesis 4:9. I'll read it after.
All right.
This is, I'm going to start back at 5. Isaiah 14:5. The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted and none hinder it.
Yeah, because he been, a lot of his antics throughout history is led to, so much death, a lot of casualties, the stabilization of governments, destruction of whole economies. That's how he done, shook up the earth, man.
Curse the ground.
Read that last part again.
It says, he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke.
With a continual stroke. Constantly, man. He's that hammer that's just been just destroying shit, man. And there's a saying, if every problem is a nail,
If y'all got a hammer, every problem
looks like a nail. That's his problem solving skills right there.
hammer.
Use the hammer every time.
When we take it out, unplug this.
That's how he sees to solve his problems, or what he perceives as a problem. And he's done that all throughout the planet Earth, man. Everywhere he's at. Go ahead.
It says, he who smote the people with wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted and none hinder it. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet.
Yeah, when the Lord defeats this devil, now the world can finally rest from the oppression. The earth can finally rest from his constant exploitation. Well, he's just pillaging the earth, man. Just steady plundering, taking resources and hoarding it up, and then taking more resources, and then hoarding it up, and then taking more resources, and then hoarding it up. To where, like it says in James the 5th chapter, your riches is corrupted, cankered, is moth eaten, and you didn't hoard it up for yourself for the last days. And those are tabs and receipts on your own head that the Lord's going to come and visit you. Also, we can't forget, you still got the Lord's jewels in your hand right now. Like the scriptures say, none restoreth him. You know, Judah and Israel were oppressed together. They refused to let him go. The scripture say, "He that stealeth a man, if he be found in your hand." So you're guilty as charged.
Because thou hast not hated blood.
Yep. Blood shall pursue thee. Yep. Go ahead.
It says, yeah, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us.
Say that, read that again.
It says, yeah, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come against us.
Man. So even the trees, man. Nobody's came to chop us down and to plant another different tree that's gonna suffer fires later. You know, taken away from the oxygen, the air filtering system. Because even nature gonna know that when the true people get in, everything's gonna be ruled right.
For all eternity.
For all of eternity, man. It's gonna be ruled right. The trees are gonna have its natural aroma and smell. You know? Everything's gonna be fruitful. So we're gonna have more saps and resins and you name it, man.
And in their proper use.
Con. You know, we're not gonna be in our kingdom. We're not gonna be chopping down trees just so that we can build a freaking. This devil, he done built all kind of bullshit with just by chopping down these trees. I'm gonna chop these trees down because I need this area and space to build a damn warehouse.
Yeah.
You know?
I got something.
Go ahead.
Genesis 4:9. And the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength.
And probably what it was, he thought he was going to come to the land of Israel and be able to be plenteous with the thing. Well, this ain't working. We better bring the trees we know how to get stuff from. You know, you start thinking about how this devil works, man.
He's always been the same devil. Yeah. Like this account he reading with Cain. The Lord he respect the offering of a animal sacrifice. Yeah. He wants the aroma. He wants the smell, right? This devil said, "Nah,
I'm gonna keep that.
I'm gonna give him this fruit
basket."
I think a fruit is more a proper sacrifice."
But see, people try to distort like they didn't know. They knew.
They knew.
Everybody knew. He knew the right thing to do.
They knew.
Told not to do it.
How did Abel?
Exactly.
a fugitive and a vagabond.
This nigga had that vegan the vegan activist. He was on that tip, man.
With the Most High.
We gotta save the animals from the Most High. We're gonna rebel. Let's everybody get your latest fruit, your best. You know, give us your best cluster of pomegranate. You know. Yeah, man. He was disobedient, showing you his traits back then.
He's trying to send the Most High. He said he's trying to send the Most High edible arrangement.
Oh man.
You know, with the fruit basket, with all cut up looking like flowers. Man, you don't want that, man. Where the meat? Hey, you come to a Jake barbecue. Come to a barbecue and it be no meat. It's straight
man.
fruit. Jake gonna tear shit up, man.
Man.
I done sent you all this money for this barbecue. Ain't no burgers, no nothing. Oh hell no. Fucking oranges and fucking mango. I don't want that shit. You know how Jake is.
Fruit salads all over
Yeah.
the bench table.
Ambrosia and shit. Hey, this shit out
They could be pissed off.
Fruit salad and
Yogurt.
yeah.
I accepted that, man. I didn't say that.
It said, a fugitive and a vagabond thou shalt thou be in the earth.
Yep.
You want me to jump to Genesis, the 3rd chapter, about the curse on the serpent. Genesis 3:14. It said, and the Lord Yahweh shall said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above the cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly thou shalt go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life.
Yep.
Yeah.
Confusion.
And that's he's been playing that confusion out, thinking good is evil and evil is good.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the serpent, Cain, Esau, they're all the same spirit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the serpent was the one who helped to get Eve to open up that Pandora's box,
Mhm.
which led to the corruption of the sons of God, in which they fell.
Yeah, the serpent.
You read Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter, that last verse. It talks about how the devil, through the envy of the devil, came death. You know, because the Lord created the sons of God to be the image of His eternity.
I read it.
Yep.
Yeah, because the serpent, we have 3 classifications: the sons of God, sons of men, which are the heathen, the sons of the wicked, which is the serpent. You know, serpentine people.
Yep.
You know, which plays Esau today. You know, they're the race of the serpents. You know? But back then they had pigmentation. They was brown skin. You know, so he was jealous of the sons of God, and that's why he used the woman Eve to bring us down, man. You know?
This is Wisdom of Solomon 2, and I started 21. It says, such things they did imagine and were deceived, for their own wickedness had blinded them. As for the mysteries of the Most High, they knew them not, neither hoped they for the wages of righteousness. Hey, you get paid for doing the right things. There's a reward for doing the right thing. Okay, that's why we're doing what we're doing now. We know there's a wage for this. We're doing the right thing. Okay? This man he thinks his wages for doing wickedness. It says, nor discern a reward for blameless souls.